Wow. What more could you ask for? Tomas Hertl hat trick, William Eklund game winner in overtime as the Sharks come back from a 3-goal deficit with less than 10 minutes left in the third against the Isles. So all that and more on today's episode.
You're Locked On Sharks, your daily podcast on the San Jose Sharks. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, welcome to Locked On Sharks, the premier hockey podcast covering your favorite team in the Bay Area. My name is JD Young, contributor at San Jose Hockey Now, and I want to thank you for making Locked On Sharks your first listen. Proudly part of the Locked On Network. We cover your team every day, and if you want to be an everydayer, all you got to do is just follow along wherever you get podcasts, or you can watch on YouTube as well, or do both. Both is great. And today, the Sharks. What just everything you could want and imagine, right? Tomas Hertl hat trick, just an absolute monster tonight. William Eklund assist on Hertl's last 2 goals, and then Eklund finishes it off with an absolute snipe in overtime as the Sharks come back against the Isles and win it 5-4 in overtime. This just such a chaotic, such a fun game, and a game where the Sharks looked like they were dead midway through the third period, and they came back with resolve we haven't really seen from this team in a while. So before we get into this, do want to let you know that today's episode is brought to you guys by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. And we have to start with Tomas Hertl. Just an absolute monster tonight, right? Was all over the ice, 3 goals, of course, and fully healthy now from his kidney surgery. This is why you keep Tomas Hertl, because he makes the players, especially your young players, around better, right? He has stepped up so huge, especially without Logan Couture this year, and I know he was really down. He takes the penalty. The Sharks go on a 5-on-3, and that was a huge moment for the Sharks where we've seen that team crumble in moments like that. Team responded, and then Hertl led the way. Hertl was like, I got this, guys. Get on my back. We're going to fight. This game isn't over. And I know, right, last 2 goals in the third period, the goalie's pulled. The Sharks are, doing everything they can to try to scrap out a win. But Tomas Hertl, come with me, guys. I got this. But the great thing about tonight was you're getting contributions from your stars like Tomas Hertl, and then your up-and-coming stars and William Eklund. And Eklund, I think this is going to be that moment. This is going to be the light bulb moment where he realizes not only can I play in the NHL, but I can be really, really good in the NHL, right? This is going to be that confidence builder, that moment. We've seen him kind of taking these little baby steps, adding, to his defensive game. He's still not perfect, right? And of course, this is his first year. He's going to make those young player mistakes. But this, I think, is going to be that light bulb moment, that moment where he's like, not only am I an NHL player, I can be a damn good NHL player going forward. Mikael Granlund, amazing job setting the screen, carrying the puck up, get the little drop pass to Eklund, setting the screen, and Eklund buries it, right? Eklund could have almost finished this game single-handedly earlier in overtime. He gets a good opportunity. He drives to the net and just isn't able to finish, but he's able to kind of redeem there at late, at the very, very end. But Eklund also driving force on the Hertl goals, right? Assist, secondary assist on the first Hertl goal at the end, I guess the second Hertl goal, and then makes the play to set up Hertl for the game tire, right? He gets the puck, plenty of space and around him, doesn't panic, starts driving to the net. The Isles just have no idea what to do with him. and then he kind of looks off the goalie, passes it to Hertl, who all he has to do is just tap it in. So amazing job by Eklund. This is what you want. This is what we've been waiting for from the moment the Sharks drafted Eklund, was to pair him with Hertl and see what these two can do together. And you're starting to see it. I talked about it on Monday's episode, right? Don't be surprised if we're talking about how the Hertl, Eklund, Barabanov line is starting to come together. And again, I know most of the damage was done when the game was, when at the very end of the game, when they're down by multiple goals, goalie pulled, scramble mode, definitely 1000%, and Islanders collapse. But your stars rose to the occasion. Eklund had another one of those building block, check the box type of moments where he has come up now big when the team needed him the most. The future is so bright for Eklund. Just imagine when Smith and Musty and all these other guys start to show up. The future is so bright for Eklund and the Sharks going forward. Like, cannot wait to see where this team starts to kind of go from here. But I think the other person who really deserves a lot of credit tonight is Kaapo Kahkonen. Held the Sharks in this game, right? Especially at the beginning of the game when it looked like it was going to be another one of those, this type of Sharks game that we've seen from them, where they just, you just tell from the jump that they don't have it that night. And the poor goalie is kind of left out there on an island. Kaapo Kahkonen was amazing again tonight, keeping this team in it. And he made big saves when they needed big saves, right? And, look at the beginning of the game. The Sharks were a hot mess to start the game. Look at in the third period, made some huge saves on breakaway goals. I know he gave there was a shorthanded goal there, but this game we've seen so many times where the Sharks just kind of get punched in the mouth and they just don't get up. Kaapo Kahkonen picked this team up and basically pushed them back into it to make the Sharks come back and win. And we are starting to see Kaapo Kahkonen. He's regained his confidence. He's playing really well. It feels like the Sharks might have a little bit of something here, might have a little bit of juice right now. Especially if they continue to get good play from their goaltending. I think that's it, right? How many times, as we talked about, especially at the end of the Martin Jones era, when you have bad goaltending, you're kind of dead and you play differently. The Sharks can play. Yes, they still need a lot of defensive issues tonight. We'll talk about those later, but when your goalie's got your back, and even in situations like this where yes, the Sharks were down 4-1 with 10 minutes left, but Kaapo Kahkonen said, no more. You guys go do your thing. You go score. No more getting past me. And he did it, right? He did it. So we'll dig into the numbers here in a minute and kind of look at the lines and numbers and where the Sharks are kind of at. And then we'll talk about the defense at the end because of there's a lot of issues and some guys definitely need to kind of work on some things going forward. And there's going to be some juggling of the defense now with some injuries and stuff. But that was a building block type of win from the Sharks. That is a win where you can look at, and again, this team isn't going to have a lot of wins, but it may not help this season, but this is a building block win for the future. Eklund, Hertl, Granlund played well tonight. Duclair played well. All the guys that matter the most played well tonight. So we'll dig into the numbers here in 1 second. If you are looking for a great gift for someone for the holidays, and that person loves going to sporting events, concerts, tickets, that's where Game Time comes in. They got killer last minute deals, all in prices, views from your seats, and their best price guaranteed. They take the guesswork out of buying tickets. I love them because you can see the seats before you go. That way, you have good seats. There's nothing worse than getting there and realizing that your seats suck. Actually, the only thing worse than that is when you go to buy tickets online and then they slam a bunch of fees on you. Game Time does not do that. They have all-in pricing to show your total upfront, so you know you're getting a great deal without hidden fees. You can buy tickets in 2 seconds with 2 taps. And they're obsessed with finding you ways to help save you money. With zone deals, you pick a section and Game Time picks the seats for an average of 18% savings. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONNHL, LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. And if you want to get into, I know NFL season right now, weather's getting colder, but NFL offers stay hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. It's $150 if your team wins. So if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get on the action. The app is super easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and more. If you are some sick pervert and you want to bet on this Patriots-Steelers game that's happening on Thursday night, you can bet the under on that game. Maybe you like rooting for guys like Christian McCaffrey to score touchdowns. You can do that as well. Or maybe you think my Miami Dolphins are going to cover against the Titans on Monday Night Football. They've got all types of player props and whatever you want to do on FanDuel. So visit FanDuel.com/LockedOnNHL and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. All right. Man, I still can't. That Eklund goal is going to stick with me for a long time. Just an absolute beauty. Let's dig into the numbers of this game. And again, this game, Islanders did a great job of kind of doing what playing Islanders hockey, right? Kind of controlling the pace, controlling the shots. And it looked like the Sharks were, especially that middle of the second period, the Islanders were really kind of putting it to the Sharks. But give credit to the Sharks. They crawled back, they responded, and they kind of earned the win in this game. But let's look at the numbers. So we had 49-53 of 5v5 time in this game. 61 shot attempts in favor of the Islanders, 47 in favor of the 47 for the Sharks. Corsi for was 56.48 to 43.52. Again, in favor of the Islanders. Scoring chances 37-16 in favor of the Islanders. Again, this is all 5v5 time, so it doesn't include the end of the game when things got crazy. 11-5 high danger chances, 3.02 to 1.38 expected goals for in favor of the Islanders. Again, 5v5, the Sharks kind of, the Islanders really put it to the Sharks, and especially that second period, right, where end of the first period, beginning of the second period, where it was just Islanders hockey. Like they were controlling the game, not giving the Sharks a lot there. And they they just really made things were tough for the Sharks, and they just kind of crawled back into this game, thanks to the Stars playing their best, and then Kaapo Kahkonen kind of bailing the Sharks out multiple times in this game. The lines tonight, so we had Zadina make his return, and which was good. Nico Sturm was back from his small injury. So lines tonight, we have Ty Emberson also on IR, Ryan Carpenter on IR. I just like how the Sharks just keep rotating IR guys out right now, because that's just what they're doing right now. So Eklund, Hertl, Banoff line, Zetterlund, Granlund, Duclair line, LeBanc, Sturm, Justin Bailey, and then we had McDonald, Hoffman, and Zadina, with Zadina kind of being the center. I think they kind of just rotated guys there, but Time on ice, though, for the Eklund Hertl Barabanov line, they played 12:07. Shot attempts was 13-18 in favor of the Islanders. 4-10 actual shots on goal. Did give up a goal, again, 5v5 time. 0.24 to 0.88 expected goals. 4-11 scoring chances, 2-4 high danger chances, 6-3-7 with the zone starts. Zetterlund, Granlund, Duclair didn't really fare too much better either. 11-21 time on ice, 6-10 shot attempts, 2-3 actual shots, 0.12 to 0.14 expected goals for in favor of the Islanders. 4-5 scoring chances, gave up a high danger chance, and 4-5-4 for their zone starts. LeBanc, Sturm, and Justin Bailey, 9-16 time on ice. Corsi 4-12-9, 7-6 shot attempts, had the goal. Kevin LeBanc finally getting on the board this season. 0.39 to 0.46 expected goals for in favor of the Islanders. 4-4 scoring chances, 1-1 high danger chances, 5-5-2 zone starts. So, and again, with McDonald still being classified as a defenseman, can't really see that line how it did together tonight. So individually, we can just talk about. So let's see. Zadina had a 30.77% Corsi for. McDonald 38.1% Corsi for, and then Mike Hoffman had a 50% Corsi for. So that's how those three individuals fared playing tonight at 5v5. So you can kind of probably very similar to what we've seen from the rest of them. So the other lines, but we'll save the defense here for a minute, but I want to dig into Kaapo Kahkonen's night because again, he was absolutely outstanding tonight. Facing 37 shots, 33 saves, goals against, 4 expected goals against was 3.65. So there, I think the eye test, I think he played better than that. 892 save percentage, 378 goals against average, 8 high danger shots, 8 high danger saves, 16 mid danger shots, 13 mid danger saves, and then 11 of 12 on the low danger shot attempts. But again, with what we've kind of seen from Kaapo Kahkonen and just how much, especially last year, right, where maybe you'd have a good game, but then it's just everything kind of falls apart, lets in some soft goals. I think he got hung out to dry a lot tonight by his defense, and we'll talk about the defense again here in a little bit. But this is what you want, right? You want to see a player like this bounce back, right? Especially after so much promise he showed when he got here in that 11-game sample size. Struggled last year, whatever it was last year. Right. But Kaapo Kahkonen is not the reason the Sharks, Kaapo Kahkonen and Mackenzie Blackwood are not the reason that the Sharks have been losing this year. Those guys have been playing their butts off. And this, having Kahkonen play well, that's just going to only help Mackenzie Blackwood, right? Blackwood definitely was kind of pulling the load at the beginning of the season. But now you have two guys who you feel confident anytime, either one of them in the crease, you feel confident you're going to get good goaltending play. And I think it's going to be really interesting if, the Sharks have a couple more games on this road trip, right? They play Detroit on Thursday. They play Vegas on Sunday. You have a little bit of extra rest. I wonder if Kaapo Kahkonen maybe gets a little bit of a run here, or if we see an even split between them, between Blackwood and Kahkonen. But it is just good to see what, especially after last season, what Kahkonen went through, that he's responded. He has found his game, and he can be an answer for the Sharks going forward instead of another question you have to solve. So before we get into some of the defensive miscues, talk about some of the time on ice and Calen Addison getting benched tonight. Do need to take a quick break. If you are looking to build out your roster at work, don't you wish it was like your fantasy team where you could just draft the best players? With Indeed, they help you do that. Indeed is the hiring platform you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. You don't have to spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills. You can do it all with Indeed. Find top talent fast with Indeed suite of powerful hiring tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. And if you hate waiting, because again, who likes waiting? Indeed's US data shows over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job. Indeed does all the hard work for you. Sponsor a job and boom, instant match. Shows you candidates with resumes on Indeed fit your job description immediately after your post. With an instant match, you can start hiring fast. Join over 3 million businesses worldwide using Indeed to hire great talent fast. Indeed knows when you're growing your own business, you need to make every dollar count. That's why with Indeed, you only pay for quality applications that match your must-have job requirements. Visit Indeed.com/lockedon to start hiring. Go to Indeed.com/lockedon, Indeed.com/lockedon. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed. All right, let's finish up. I know this is a great win, and right, I don't want to rain on the parade, but the defense tonight was a hot mess. And it's hard to point to kind of one person, and everybody I thought had some issues tonight. But you got lucky by Kaapo Kahkonen bailing you out a lot. There was multiple opportunities for the Islanders to kind of put this game away that they weren't able to capitalize on. But the defense needs to be they need to get it a lot tighter before as you're going on, right? You can't keep putting Blackwood and Kaapo Kahkonen in this position every night and expect them to kind of continue to bail you out. And we had the return of Marc-Edouard Vlasic, who we talked about in yesterday's podcast for a little bit, and kind of maybe if he lost his fire or whatever. He looked okay, I thought, tonight. His Corsi 4 was not pretty. In 13:58 time on ice at 5v5. 7 shot attempts. They gave up 18, 28%. And I know shot attempts aren't everything. But again, a little tough there. Defensively, the next guy, Kyle Burris, who had a couple penalties tonight. Like the high sticking one, like they're not the greatest penalties. And the Islanders' power plays looked pretty solid tonight. He played 16-13 at 5v5, 15 to 24 shot attempts, 38.46%. So he's the next guy. We'll see. And again, Kyle Burris is not like you're there to provide offense and stuff, but you need to play good defense and you need to not go in the box. Calen Addison, who got benched in this game, it is what it is. And he looked, I think he looked like he was trying to do a little bit too much, and that's going to happen, right? He's been playing much better, and maybe he was kind of feeling himself a little bit tonight, but had some really bad reads, especially in the transition game that led to some bad, like some 2-on-1s, led to some great opportunities for the Islanders. Wasn't able to kind of this puck management tonight, I think, trying to make a little bit too many like hope passes. And again, I don't want to take the creativity out of players, but he just kind of got he didn't put himself in a great position tonight. So I assume give him, next game, try to kind of get things put together here. But at 14:07 time on ice at 12 at 5-on-5, had 12 shot attempts for, gave up 18, Corsi for 40%. Next guy, Mario Ferraro, 19:25 time on ice, 23 to 27 shot attempts, 46%. Ferraro, I think, had a solidish night. I would say he was probably the best looking defenseman out of the group. You can see he's being a lot more aggressive, I think, in trying to create offense, and they kept throwing him over in the offensive zone, like giving him some opportunities to get some of those offensive zone starts. I think it looks like he had 11, 11 offensive zone starts tonight. But, we know what Mario Ferraro is. So Nikita Hochuk, who had a roller coaster overnight, got a tough first period for him. He got pylon. He was basically like, he was pyloned at one point, just skated right by, very little resistance. Did have the nice assist. I will give the assist on the Labenko. Nice shot. Labenko was able to kind of get the tip on that. So credit where credit's due, but Hochek, who's supposed to be a physical player, got out physicaled, right? And especially on that pile, where he gets basically just skated by, because he's flat-footed. You either you got to push the forward, like you can't just let him have a free run at the goalie, which is what he did. But young player, I know, if rookie season, and you're going to have ups and downs, but I'd like to see a little bit more consistency out of a Hochuk going forward. But so tonight he played 17-22 at 5v5, 15 to 17 shot attempts, 46.88 Corsi 4. And then Jan Ruda, I think he was okay tonight as well. 16-34 of 5v5, actually provided positive shots. So 18 to 16 shot attempts, 52.94%. But just overall, again, I think if it wasn't for Kahkonen, this could have been a bloodbath early because of just how many odd man rushes this team was giving up. A lot of just not in the right position. And the Sharks have played a lot better defensively, right? They've been a little better at their positioning, with their system, with their just communication, and not so much of just like letting guys kind of do what they want offensively. And we saw a little bit more of that tonight, where they just kind of got back to what we've seen at the beginning of the season. So huge test against Detroit, who's been an absolute wagon recently this season. So they cannot get away with the same style of play that they played tonight, and hope to have success against the Red Wings, because that team is too good right now. They're an absolute wagon. So, and the same thing against Vegas, right? Vegas, we've seen that team kind of hang around, wait around, and then counterpunch, and the next thing you know, they can put 2 or 3 goals on you without even trying. So, fun win tonight, though. We got Eklund, Hertl, Duclair, Granlund, Zetterlund, Barabanov's back. Like, this team's gonna be at least more entertaining here right now, as long as guys can kind of stay healthy-ish here. So we'll be back tomorrow, where Sharks prospect Jake Furlong joins the show. So we're going to discuss, of course, his invite to Team Canada for World Juniors. We're going to talk about his draft, all that fun stuff. We'll also talk tomorrow about some of the Sharks heading to, and some of the Sharks who maybe got snubbed from the World Juniors camp invites, and then probably going to be starting some draft coverage here, not this week, but coming up. So make sure you guys are following along wherever you get podcasts, and of course, you can watch on YouTube as well. You can follow the show on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Locked On Sharks. You can follow me on Twitter at MyFryhole. Until tomorrow, bye, friends.